Good morning to all present here. I am V Brahand of class 11th, here to present my experiment with magnetic gear, and I will also be explaining the scientific principle involved in it. So the materials required are two identical fidget spinners and neodymium magnets based on the requirement. Now let us start the experiment. As you can see here, which makes up a sum total of 16 magnets. I have also aligned the magnet in such a way that the north poles face outwards in this fidget spinner and south poles face outwards in this fidget spinner. Now let us start. As you can see, when I rotate one of them, the other one automatically starts to rotate. In this case, when I have rotated the green one, the red one automatically starts to rotate. Now let us do it by starting it from the red one. Now this functions as a gear. So what is the scientific principle involved in it? In a magnet, unlike poles attract and like poles repel. Here I have kept the north poles outwards in one fidget spinner, that is the red one, and the south poles outward in the other fidget spinner, which is the green one. So since the unlike poles are towards each other, they start attracting, as you can see here. All these neodymium magnets are permanent magnets. But how are these made? These are made from ferromagnetic substances like iron, nickel, cobalt, etc. But what makes ferromagnetic substance so create magnetism? So in every element we find electrons and that gives their atomic number. So in elements like iron, nickel and cobalt, there are unpaired electrons as we can see from their electronic configuration. So every electron has its own spin magnetic moment, and because of unpaired electron species like iron, cobalt, and nickel, they get attracted to magnetic fields. Now, but how are these permanent magnets created? When these ferromagnetic substances are heated to higher temperatures, to a particular higher temperature specifically, and and when they are subjected to an electric current, all their electrons align because due to the electric current. So because of and when they are cooled from that temperature, they sustain their magnetic fields, and this gives them their permanent magnetic ability. Now, as you can see, I have these two fidget spinners. As I have already mentioned, I have 8 magnets placed over each of them, which are equidistant from each other. But let me make one more inference. When I had started this project, I had attached only 2 magnets to each of the ends, making a sum total of 4 magnets. So I started with this magnet and this one, and vice versa, and the other fidget spinner as well. But I had made an observation that when I had started to rotate one of them, the other one made a jerk like this. As you can see, because of the gap between these two magnets, they produce an oscillating effect. That effect was greater when I had only 2 magnets on each of them. Now this has been increased to 8 magnets. So because of that major oscillating effect has also been nullified. But is this 100% efficient? The answer is absolutely no. Because as we can see, we have 2 ball bearings here. Though ball bearings reduce friction, they still incur some amount of friction in the spinning of these fidget spinners. So in order to have 100% efficiency, we should be reducing this friction as well. Now, let's make one more inference. When I had started doing this experiment, the distance between these two fidget spinners were varied. As you can see, I have placed them as close as possible so that they are also not in contact with each other. So if they are in contact, we have even more friction. And the main objective of the creation of magnetic gear is to reduce friction as much as possible in transmission. But how do these magnetic gears actually work? As you can see here, we have 2 magnets which are attracted to each other. But when I start rotating one of them, the distance between them increases. This is the least distance of separation between these 2 magnets, which gives them which gives them higher magnetic force exerted on each other. But when I start to rotate them, the magnetic force between them reduces, between these two magnets reduces, and the magnetic force between these two magnets increases. So because of this effect, when I rotate one of the fidget spinners, the other one automatically starts to rotate.